Hello friends, in this video I will show you how to make the bowstring without any jigs and accessories. First we must decide the length of our string. If we already have the string on the bow and we want to change it, we can just use this old string and make the new string the same length. But if we don't have the string, we can just use some strong twine like this one and tie the loop at the end. Now we can just eyeball the string length. For this bow maybe something like this. Now I will just tie the loop here. And now I will actually string the bow with this. This is a little bit shorter than needed, but usually it will take few times. And when we are satisfied with the brace height and everything, we can make the real string the same length as this. For my strings I usually use the B55 material. It's not the fastest, but it's pretty silent and it's not bad actually. But today I want to try this D97 material. It's basically Dyneema material, Dyneema strands. And it's supposed to be something between the Fast Flight and B55. So it should have more speed than B55 and it should be more silenced than Fast Flight. So we will try this today. You can also use the braided fishing line material. This works also pretty good for strings. I have a video of comparing the B55 and braided fishing line. You can check it. Or you can use the Fast Flight material. I don't have it right now, but it is also a pretty good choice. Whatever material you decide to use, the method of making bowstring is the same. I just put the two clamps on this table, and each clamp is about 20 centimeters longer than the string. That is probably the overkill, but it's better to have more material than less. As for the number of strands, I like to use one strand for every 5 pounds of draw weight. This bow is about 75 pounds, so we need 15 strands. I will start by tying the string material here. And then go 15 times back and forth. Bowstrings materials are usually waxed, but I like to use some beeswax to wax it further. I prefer the Flemish twist bowstring, so we will make that today. I'm starting by leaving a fair amount of material up here. And then I go twist, counter twist, twist, counter twist, twist, counter twist. For most of the bows we need between 15 and 20 twists. This bow has pretty narrow limbs, so I'm going with 15 twists. Now we can use the same clamp to put our loop around it, like this. And now I will make around 10 twists using all 4 bundles. And again go twist, counter twist, twist, counter twist. And now I will remove one bundle and continue with 3 bundles, and again go for about 10 twists. That will result in nice looking uniform taper. And now 10 more twists with our 2 main bundles. This looks very good now. Now we can make the second loop. Now I will put the old string first. Or if you don't have the old string, you can put this twine that we make. But we will use now this old string. And then we will put the new string, first loop of the new string, above the old string. Now we have the both strings around the clamp. This is the old string and this is the new. We will start our loop where the loop from the old string ends. So that will be right here. And again, outside, inside, outside, inside. Around 15 times. And then we will remove this first loop from the clamp and put the second loop. And we'll just repeat the process now. Outside, inside. 10 times. Now we can remove one bundle and go 10 more times. And now the old and the new strings should be the about same length. Let's check that. As you can see, pretty close. Now we can just twist this string a little bit to get the same length. And that should be it now. Now we will use this string to brace our bow. It's a little bit lower brace height, but we can always twist this string. This is the beauty of the Flemish twist bowstring. If we twist it in one direction, it will actually shorten, and in other it will gain some length. So we will put few twists to shorten it a little bit. Now it's perfect. Brace height is personal preference. Some people like it higher, some like lower. I like about a little bit more than my thumb here. So not really scientific way, but it works for me. Now I will carefully cut this excess. Now it's time to put some string serving. I like to use braided fishing line for this. It's very durable. And you can use something like this. This is string serving jig. It will make this job pretty quick. But for the sake of this video, I will not use it. And I like to put the arrow here. And to see roughly where my serving will be. I shoot 3 under, so I will start somewhere here and ends up somewhere here. Be sure to check the fit between the nock and the serving. This is okay. But if the fit is too loose, you can add some strands here, so that will make this part thicker. And if it's too tight, you must use something thinner than this. This is some multicolored braided fishing line. It looks a little bit funny, but it doesn't matter. My servings are usually about 15 centimeters. If you put too long of the serving, it can actually slow down the bow. So this is the perfect length, in my opinion. I will show you now how to finish the serving. To finish the serving, I will cut the long section of the braided fishing line. And now do something like this and start wrapping in the opposite direction. Around 10 wraps. And now put this end here and start wrapping. As we wrap here, this will unwrap. You will see now. And when we get to the last wrap, we should pull this end tight. And now we can cut this end here and burn it. So that's it. That is our serving.
Trusa ti strugar. A ti sedi?
Now it's time to put the nocking point. People usually use this bow square to determine the position of the nocking point. But I use different method. First I like to knock the arrow. And then use some rubber band, which I will cut. And then I will tie the nocking point from this rubber band. Then I just cut off this excess. Then I will actually go out and shoot this bow and adjust this nocking point. I can move it up or down like this. Then try some shooting, then if needed move it again and try some shooting. Once I'm satisfied with the arrow flight and everything, I will put the real nocking point instead of this rubber band. For the nocking point I will also use the braided fishing line. And I will just tie the knot here, just beneath this rubber band. And then wrap around the string, tie another knot. And repeat that process probably around 10 times. That will build up the nocking point. Now I can just move this rubber band and do about 10 knots. And now I will just put a little bit of CA glue to fix this. And just cut off this excess. And remove this rubber band, of course. For the string silencers I like to use this bungee cord. That's basically the same material as commercial Cat Whisper string silencers, but much cheaper. This bungee cord was about 2 or 3 euros, and we can get lot of silencers from just this one cord. I like to cut it to around 7 centimeters. And then just remove this braided sleeve. I like to put my silencers at about 20 to 30 centimeters. So I will carefully put the bundle around the string and again use the braided fishing line to secure it. I just tie the knot. And then same as with knocking point. Wrap around the string, tie the knot. Wrap around the string, tie the knot. You can also tighten this pretty good by making the 2 loops at the ends. And you can use some sticks to tighten this pretty good. And then we can just cut off the excess material. And again use the CA glue to saturate this wrap. The good thing about this method is that you can actually move the silencers up or down and experiment with different positions. The string is finished, and now we can test it against our old B55 string.